Hey everybody, this is Lisa. Welcome back to part 2 of my mailbox tutorial. Okay, you guys, I have one correction. Now, y'all know I'm not too good with these tutorials. I don't really do tutorials. One correction on the lid. This is the correct measurements for this piece right here. On the first video, I said it was 1 7/8, but it's 1 3/8 wide right here. 1 3/8 by 4 5/16. So that is the correct measurement there. Now this is just a layering piece. As you can see, I did my layering already. So that is this part of the lid. So the lid is just 1.5 inches this way. So you just cut this just a little bit shy of that, just to give it that little border. Now, as far as your layering pieces, you can, if you like the 1/4 inch better, as long as you got the base made, you can do your layering ever how you prefer it to be. Okay, that is totally up to you, as long as you have the base made. So in between part 1 and this part, I went ahead, as you can see, I inked my edges. So you can see how I inked the edges on everything, just to save time, for the sake of the video. I went ahead and did that, and I matted all of my layers that I needed to do. Now, this is the back. We don't have to layer here because it's going to be covered. Okay, so now we are going to layer the decorative paper. So I'm going to start with, this is the back piece. Okay, so I do have one that I'm going to put on the back, and I'm just going to layer it like that. Okay, now the glue that I'm using, I like this Aleene's tacky glue. It dries really fast, but it gives you time if you need to position your paper. If you want to use score tape and wet glue, it's totally up to you. Now I have my Aleene's glue in this little bottle here, and it's got a fine tip. I bought these, I cannot remember. It was either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and I can't find them anymore. And I've had these probably about a year, but it comes like 3 in a pack. So you can just put your favorite glue in here if you need the fine tip. So this layering piece is 4 1/4 wide by 7 1/4 long. But like I said, your layering pieces is all up to you how you want to layer. You might like a wider border than my little 1/8 of an inch. I think I have an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch, something like that. But you might want a wider border. So that is just totally up to you. This is just how I do mine. So if you have a directional paper, make sure you put it the right way. Make sure I'm in frame. All I'm doing is just laying this down. And see, with the wet glue, you can kind of move it around a little bit to get it how you want it. So once I get that down, I always get my bone folder, and I really go around my edges to make sure that it's placed down, and I just go over it like that. If some seeps out, just wipe it off, it's fine. So there is my layering piece, and see, you can barely see the pink around the edges. So I don't like a real wide border piece. So that's the back of that. Like I said, don't have to do the sides. So what I'm going to do is I have this little border die. Okay. This is the border die that I have. So I cut it out 2 times with this craft that's 110 pound cardstock. I cut it out twice and layered it up, and then I cut it out with some gold foil and I layered it that way. So since this is the back, okay, I'm going to have this right here. So that's going to be on top of the mailbox like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. So for this, I'm going to put just a little bit of tearing tape across here, and I'm going to show you how I lay this down. I'm not even in frame. So I just put a little bit right there. Tear this off. Might need to move the camera down a little bit. Go down just a little bit. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Okay, so my foil piece, I want it in the front, so it's going to go this way. It's going to go like that. So I'm going to put some wet glue along the bottom of this. Okay, put plenty of glue. Okay. So now when I put it on here, I'm just going to line it up where I want it. Kind of center it. So what I did, this die right here actually had a few more little pieces right here, but I cut them off so it will, you know, fit the, it was a little bit wider than the 4.5. So I just cut it down a little bit. So see, that's what the back is going to look like. Now that's the back, and then this is going to be the front. Okay. Okay. So this is the back piece. And what I'm going to do is on the inside of my box. See, this is going to be the inside. I want to put a layer on the inside. So I just took this out of the paper pad, and this measures the same size as the pink layering piece on the front. Okay, it's the exact same size. It's 1 7/8 by 7 3/8. Now, because there's going to be a couple of layers on the side when I put the front on, I don't need a layering piece on the inside. And I'm really just putting this on the inside to, I guess so the box won't be so dark on the inside. So I'm just putting, you know, a light color paper. If you don't want to put any on the inside, you know, you don't have to put a layering piece on the inside. It's all up to you. So put that down. I always like to smooth out the wet glue so there's not no lumps. Okay, and this is the same thing. And then you do the same thing. You just cut the angle, kind of go down like 1 inch, and then angle it. And all of that is in the part 1 video. And I like this because it's like a whole, it looks like a lot of glue's coming out, but it's not. It's really, really thin, you know, strands of glue coming out. So you just bring this down to almost a square. You're just layering it. That's all you're doing. It's just layering this piece. Okay. Okay. So now that is the sides. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set this to the side because we have to come back to the back piece. Now this right here is what I call the lid. Now of course it's going to go this way because this is going to flap down like this. Okay. So this is going to go here like this. But I'm going to put that matching paper on the inside right here. Now this piece, I really just measured it about the same. You're not really going to see any edges or anything like that. So I'm just going to put the glue on here. Okay. So we're going to put it like not on these two that has the score. We're going to put this on the long part. And we're just going to leave a little bit from the top and put it down. Okay, so that is the inside. But we're also going to put this piece here on the inside of this. Now these pieces right here are the exact same size as the pink layering piece that is on the outside. So that is what's in, part 1 video. Okay. So we're just going to lay this down. And see, with that wet glue, you can move it around and get it where you need it to go. Okay. And then here is this piece here. Now what I did when I inked the edges, I went ahead and rounded these corners. So you can round them or you can leave them square. But I like to have them round. It's all up to you. Turn this around. And then just line this up. See, that wet glue lets you move it where you need to move it. Just kind of mash it down. Okay, so now this is the inside of the lid, okay? You don't have to do nothing here because we're about to glue this here, okay? Now I think I am going to use a little bit of double-sided tape. Just going to put some on the edge like this, and then maybe one down the middle like that. Okay, and I'm going to press this down and make sure that it's stuck. Okay, and then I didn't bring my little pokey tool. Take this off. Now I'm still going to add some wet glue. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get this and you're going to line this top part right here. You're going to line it up with this, okay? With the top of that border piece. Okay, and then you're also going to do it like this because that's how your sides is going to come in. But the main thing is make sure your top is lined up. That looks pretty good. Bring my sides in again and then mash it down. Okay, so nothing went over the score line, and you know that your box is going to set up pretty good. So that's what it's starting to look like. Okay, so basically that is it for the back piece. Besides, we got to put the 2 layering pieces there. So I chose to use this wood grain piece here. And I'm going to put this. And y'all know this is my first real, I guess, tutorial. So I don't really do tutorials on my channel too much. But I'm trying. But I know I've had a couple of people ask me about this box. So, you know, I wanted to do one. And I should have put this piece on before I attached it. See? But we're learning together, okay? We are learning together. Okay? So that's what part of the top looks like. Okay? And then we're going to do this piece here. And like I said, with the layering, you know, what I did is when I did my box, and then when I did my first layering piece, I took like 1/8 of an inch off. And then when I did my decorative, I took another 1/8 of an inch off. So you're really just seeing a little bit of border on everything. So I just placed that on there. If you need to move it, you have a few seconds to do that. But like I said, this glue does dry pretty fast, and I like this glue pretty good. Okay, so there is the back. Okay, you guys, so that is the back of the box. The back and the lid is done. Now we can go ahead and do this and close this up, and I think that's what we'll go ahead and do. Sometimes I do like to use a little bit of tearing tape. I'm sorry I wasn't in frame. Just maybe about 2 pieces, because we're still going to use some wet glue. So what I do is put a little bit on the edge, you know, not quite to the score mark. See, not quite all the way to the score mark. Press that down and make sure that it sticks. Okay. I'm going to take these off. I should have brought my little pokey tool over here, because y'all know I ain't got no nails. Okay. And then we're going to get our glue. And we're just going to just put some glue on it. When you're working on bigger projects like this little fine tip gets a little aggravating, But I would rather it take me a little bit longer to do it than to just have a whole glob of glue come out. So now that I did that, I'm going to turn it over. And then I'm just going to line that up like that. Just make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to do this one the same way. Just make sure that it's, you know, flush with that. And then once you get these two lined up, you can set it up like this and take your bone folder and just press it real good. Okay. So we have the back of the box is made already. Okay. So I'm going to set this over here and we'll come back to that. So now this is our front of the box. Remember this little piece I told you? You can either cut it off or you can fold it down. I put some score tape, and I like to just fold mine over because it gives it, you know, makes it a little bit more durable on the edge. Okay. And I just had some double-sided tape, and I put a little bit of wet glue, not much. So now that's our front of the box. And here is our layering pieces. Okay. So this one is going to go like this. It is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Now you know the front side is a little bit shorter than the back side because, you know, you're coming down at a slant. So I'm going to glue this up. And I hope I'm explaining this okay. I know I did mess up with that one measurement that I told you about in the middle, at the beginning of this video. And so I apologize for that. I don't know why I wrote that down. Okay, so this is the way that this paper goes. Just going to line it up. Okay. Just push it down. Kind of smear that glue out up under there. And I like to kind of bring it out of the edges, especially the corners. So that's why I know that that is adhered pretty good. So that is that one. Okay, and we're going to do the sides. And these are 1 1/4 by 7 1/4. So this one is the right side, that's the left side. Glue these down. Around. I'm hoping to try to get me some kind of way that I could put. I would like to start doing more tutorials, but I wish I could get my camera like above where it's like looking straight down. I think that would help a lot with I know I'm like at an angle right now, so I know that would help a lot. And this one is the same size, 1 1/4 by 7 1/4. Okay, so you just kind of get your little edge, because you can pretty much tell how you decide to cut your borders of pretty much where you want to lay it down at. So I just really have like a 1/16 of an inch on each side showing. Okay, so this is the front of the box. So see, when you do it like this, you can kind of see the, you know, the craft and the pink. And I hope my phone don't cut off. So what I'm going to do is you glue this down like this. I'm going to go ahead and show you what your box is going to look like, okay? Because it may cut off. So you're going to do this the same way that you did the back piece. But I suggest you put it on like this and then glue it down, okay? And then there is your box. Really, really cute. So this box turned out really, really cute. You could decorate up here, down here, or you could put something right here. So that is the box. So this is what it looks like standing up. Let me see if I can come out just a little bit and up. I want to glue that so bad, but I'm so scared that that it's going to cut off on me because I'm already at 26 minutes. But maybe if I hurry, I can do it. If not, if the phone cuts off, you guys, I'm so sorry, but you know what? You will be seeing this box in an upcoming video. Because I'm making it for a reason. And what you're going to do is you're going to glue this side and you're going to glue this side, okay? And you're going to put it on like this, okay? And then that's your box. And it is going to sit perfect like this. Okay, so only thing that's left is to glue the edges. I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I paused the camera and then I glued it all together. And this is the final product. Okay, so that's the back, sides, and then your lid comes up and then it folds down perfect. Now you can always use magnets, but you know, you put them on before you put the pattern paper. I will use a Velcro like I did on my first box right there. You can jazz it up as much as you want. You could even put a slit up here if you wanted to, but you know, you would have to do that